It takes a long time to load.
It's live now.
Yeah, yay! Okay, well, we will wait for people to get on.
No, I think you just start and people jump on as they see that you're going.
Okay, well, today we are going to try fruits and veggies from our Hobart food forest in Maple Valley. So we are going to do that today. Are we just going to eat a chunk of that?
Yeah, we're just gonna. This is our
whole
big
bowl. These are edible
bowl of
flowers.
fruit.
Which I'm so excited for.
How about let's first hold up each item that we're gonna be trying.
Well, what is that?
Let's see. I want the ripest one. That's probably the ripest. This is a Desert King fig. When these are ripe, this one could be a little riper. When these are ripe, literally one of the few things I feel like I could like live on like happily, like fresh figs from the tree. Yeah. Amazing. Okay, I want you to explain to him what that is.
So, what type of tomatoes?
That is a indigo cherry drop.
Well, this is very beautiful. I love the ombre on it. I don't like tomatoes. He could survive on tomatoes, basically.
I mean, not very well. They're not a lot of calories, but yeah, like fresh homegrown tomatoes, yes, delicious. I don't know what's wrong with her.
Everything that we have in that bucket, it's not from a store. The only thing from a store is probably the seeds.
For some of the stuff.
For some of the stuff that we bought. But this is what it looks like.
Show them the purple on top.
Oh, yeah.
Really cool color.
Dark purple, then it goes to a red.
And then I also have my absolute favorite variety of tomato, the Sun Gold. You can see why they call it that. Almost tried it because it's so good.
Then I forgot what these are called.
Nasturtiums.
They're nasturtiums, but they're beautiful edible flowers. They're a little bit spicy. Those ones kind of damaged a little bit, but oh well.
I think it's just a little wilted.
They're spicy, but they're really good.
Okay, next up we have some
boysenberries.
Boysenberries,
not
so
poison.
Similar to a blackberry, but smaller.
So
taste is a little bit.
That's a blackberry. That's a boysenberry.
But the cool thing about these boysenberries, as opposed to a blackberry, the boysenberry are thornless. At least this variety is, meaning you can pick them and not have to worry about getting poked all the time. Which you have to do when you pick blackberries because they're pokey and the sticker bushes.
We don't want to eat the pokiness, so I'm rubbing it off. Ow, God. But this is a cucumber. It's a cucumber.
You need to get her out in the garden more. She confuses cucumbers for zucchinis.
I do. What even is the difference? You can explain that to them while I pick these off.
Well, quite a bit of differences between a cucumber and a zucchini. So zucchini just growing as like this wide kind of plant, can't grow it vertically, which you can grow cucumbers vertically. These ones are being grown vertically up a string. Then you just clip the plant to the string and it helps hold it up and support it. You couldn't do that with a zucchini. I don't know. So yeah, there's a few differences that, somewhat similar though. This is a methyl plum. Been eating off of this tree for, I don't know, 2-3 weeks at this point, and probably will be doing for another week. So just getting fruit from this one tree for a month, which is just really amazing. This is the same tree that's broken itself 3 times because it's so prolific and makes so much fruit.
Too heavy.
I think that's all the stuff you showed on the blackberries, boysenberries. Yeah, I think that's
so. This is the difference. This, I'm able to pinch it. So this is a blackberry. And this is how small a boysenberry is.
Quite a bit smaller.
Quite a bit smaller.
So we start with those?
Yeah, I guess. Okay, I'm going to try a boysenberry for the second time.
What do you think?
This is actually really good.
Let me try one.
Now I'm going to have a blackberry.
I feel like the...
No, it's so soft.
A little more boysenberry. I feel like they're a little bit more seedy than the blackberry. The flavor, I feel like, isn't as sweet, but with the boysenberries, I feel like you can pick them a little bit before they're completely ripe, and they'll still be pretty good. With the blackberries, like, you really want them to be like almost falling off. Otherwise, otherwise, yeah, they can be a little bitter and tart. But
yeah,
boysenberry is super cool. Thornless, which is nice.
Eat this way or this way.
And then delicious blackberries, like, they literally just grow like weeds, really hard to get rid of them once you have them, but they do make a ton of fruit. We picked 5 quart-sized bags and put them in the deep freezer.
Like today.
Mostly blackberry.
It's so soft.
Which flavor did you like more, the blackberry or the boysenberry, if you had to pick one?
I would have to say the blackberry, because I think the boysenberry doesn't really have that much taste for my taste buds, but for this it does. For the blackberry.
You'd pick the blackberry over the boysenberry. Yeah, I think I would pick the blackberry too. Like, these really ripe, just super delicious.
Juicy, delicious.
Nutrient dense. Just look at the color of that fruit. Like,
that's just
chock full of nutrients and antioxidants. The blackberries require like no maintenance, as I was saying. Just pop up like weeds all over the part of the country that we live in. Basically find, anywhere. So it's basically however much blackberries you want to pick and preserve, you can do that. Because they're like literally just all over the place.
Yeah. So at my grandpa's and at my great-grandpa and great-grandma's, they share this huge property, but right in the middle there's like this basically forest of blackberries. Then this other place where we planted blueberries. Then behind that is more blackberries. So we picked there today, and they're so good. Most of them I just like barely touched it and fell off in my hand. So that means they're like very ripe and really good.
How we want them.
Yeah, just how we want them.
And like, we only get to honestly a very small fraction of the ones that are there, but we just want to try to fill up the deep freezer as much as we can, to have berries, throughout the winter. Just super nice to have, that freshness of summer, when it's 30 degrees out in, February or January, and being able to, open up the freezer, put some boysenberries in your oatmeal or a smoothie. Just really cool. It takes a little bit of time to do it, but I find it time very much well spent. And just so cool. And both the boysenberries and blackberries, like no maintenance whatsoever. All I did with the boysenberries was plant them several years ago. Haven't gave them any attention really, and they're doing amazing. It's like this little boysenberry patch in the back corner of the food forest, and we're getting a good amount of fruit from it right now.
You should explain how big is our food forest. Like, how many feet? What do you think?
So it's maybe I don't know, a third, a fourth of an acre. This is at my dad's place on his property. Has been gracious enough for us to develop and create this food forest there. It's probably about third quarter of an acre, and
so
it's
soft.
fenced off because there's a lot of deer and elk in that area.
Ooh, that smells really good.
So we had to fence it off, and this was started, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 years ago.
I think 8.
Because it was before I met them. Yeah. So maybe
it was before you met
7,
us.
8 years old, and just been adding fruit trees and berry bushes, and there's a greenhouse there and some.
Because
nice
I always
beds
like
and...
just running in there, hiding from you.
We'll have to get the GoPro fixed, and then we should do a proper tour of all the stuff that's
after we get it a little bit.
There.
We were we didn't really pay attention that much to the food forest, so we haven't really cleaned it up that good this year, or really last year.
Still getting a lot of food from it, though.
Yes, we are getting a lot of food from it. We need to clean it up because last year we didn't really want to go out anywhere because of COVID. So this year we hope to get it clean, but I'll probably have to do it like fully clear in the fall or next year.
Potentially expanding it a little bit because like this area that is the Hobart Food Forest, not a whole lot more room for any more fruit trees, so we might
have to dig some
where this
up.
Area where the blackberries were, we might take that out, fence that off, and start kind of developing that area there. But just super lucky to be able to have access to that space and be able to kind of plant things and experiment and grow food and learn from that process and feed ourselves, feed our family. And then, if we're able to keep growing more and more food, then be able to give it to others as well.
Yeah. Just like we did, would you say probably 2-3 years ago, maybe, we had way too many tomatoes and we weren't able to eat them all. So we put them on, I think, Facebook or Instagram, and like a bunch of people were like, yes, I want those and those and those. Then we also, whenever we start planting our tomatoes, which we do like in
February, March.
From seed. We give some to my mom's friends, to people who want them, like his uncle. Right? Yeah, uncle.
Yeah, because starting tomatoes from seed, it's obviously a little bit more work and time, but by doing it that way, you're able to grow the exact variety that you want, like the sun golds, like those indigo cherry drops, versus buying it, from a big box store or a local nursery. Probably not going to see these more exotic varieties, and it's just, I think, a really good skill to get into is growing and starting stuff from seed. You're going to save a lot of money because you can start, let's say, a tray of tomatoes, 72 tomatoes. That seed, if you're not saving your own, is probably going to be maybe $20-$25. If you bought, I broke this one. If you bought 72 tomatoes from a nursery, that's going to be several $100s, if not more. So
I have a question. How did you break
I don't know. I was just rolling it around in my hand, and it kind of.
This is so soft.
Broke. Okay, so we tried the boysenberries and blackberries. We both like the blackberries more. What should we try next?
Not tomatoes. I hate tomatoes.
Okay, we'll put that later.
Yeah, the one that you broke.
Next
Let's
we got plums, figs, cucumber. Let's do the smallest one. Let's do this one. That's a little smaller.
The same size. Just a little less thick.
So these were grown. All 4 of these actually turning out to be a really good year for cucumbers at the food forest. Grown in a greenhouse, up a string. I don't know what variety. We're growing several varieties. Corinto, Marketmore, and another one. And yeah, it's like after growing cucumbers for the last several years, it's very difficult to buy cucumbers from the store anymore. Just don't have that freshness, don't have that crispness when
especially after you taste a homegrown one.
Do you like cucumbers?
Yeah.
Okay. She's kind of somewhat
I'm
picky
picky.
with the fruits and vegetables and food in general that she likes, but it's good that she likes cucumbers.
I love cucumbers,
Are you
zucchini.
gonna try it?
Which way?
No, I would bite off the
Hey.
end, probably.
Huh.
Good?
Mhm.
So good. So fucking good. Yeah, so you could, something we need to get better at is saving more of our seeds. So
Like
there's literally
going inside of it and
probably 100 seeds in this cucumber that you could, each of those little things is a seed. So you could save those, and then you can grow cucumbers from it the following year.
it's so good. Fruit fly.
Cucumber is actually considered a fruit,
Mhm.
hence, or the seeds being why.
Should I say hi? Hi.
I think you want. So good. And then we like to also make pickles, but you don't want a cucumber that size for pickles. You want a pickling cucumber that is maybe
That size.
like that big. And we didn't grow any pickling cucumbers this year, but we usually go to the farmer's market and this Alvarez Farms in Eastern Washington.
There.
They have a really good nice selection, nice variety of pickling cucumbers. So you buy a bunch of those and then make a day out of canning up some pickles and just, I don't know, just something really fun to do. And like you make some really, really good homegrown pickles.
Especially last year.
Yeah. The key we found is you want the pickling cucumbers. Like you try to pickle a cucumber like that, it's not going to be very crunchy. You want that nice small little pickling cucumber to get that pickle crunch.
Of probably 2 years in a row, which we tried different spices and different like recipes and kinds of them to see how it worked. We found out that we should use a pickling cucumber at first, so now we know to use those instead of these because my mom used to have to like chop it up in like small little rounds, literally go like this, then like this, like this.
Versus
like
a
this
pickling
again.
cucumber fits nicely in those pint-sized
Which you just go like
mason
this.
jars.
If you want them cut, or if you just stick them in there, then they'll be in there.
Right.
Hey.
You know, it's a really good fruit. I mean, I don't know. So I think most people probably think of these as vegetables, but like, you know, that's how good it is. You can literally just snack on it like fresh. This. Like that's pretty amazing and a testament to how like delicious food is when you're able to grow it yourself and do it organically. The only input that these cucumbers have received, compost, I think maybe a little bit of alfalfa meal, but I don't even think that. I think that was on some of the tomatoes, just a little bit compost. They're on a timer and being irrigated with drip irrigation. So twice a day, the timer comes on, waters at the base of the cucumber plant, and I just go check on them a couple times a week, string them further up the string that they're growing up in the greenhouse, and pretty low maintenance. One thing we did have to kind of build, me and my dad, was this little kind of slug trap with this copper tape around it, because the slugs do seem to really like the cucumber plants when they're small. Like they'll just go to town and destroy them. So once they get, you know, kind of a little bigger, it's not as much of an issue. So it's one thing to kind of, depending on your climate, you know, there's a lot of slug pressure, whatnot, that you might need to do something similar for your cucumbers. But definitely one of my favorite annual fruits to grow, along with tomatoes as well. She's not back yet, so I'm going to try this Methley plum, which actually it's super good, but we'll try it.
Coffee bird.
Hi,
Stormy here right now. Oh,
because you're in the southern hemisphere. Look at the color of that.
That's pretty. What was I gonna say? If you want stormy weather, then that's good for you. We wish we did, because it's very dry right now. But I would love to. I probably after this video, I'll make some hot chocolate. Well, not hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
Tea. Because I like having some tea before bed sometimes. So.
Yeah, the tree with the broken branch, that was the plum tree. So this was basically filled mostly with those plums just from that broken branch. There's probably
I need to try one.
5 times this amount, like full colander left on just that branch alone. And I've been eating from this particular plum tree for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So it's like, how amazing is that? I've been basically getting breakfast from this one tree going on close to a month at this point.
So basically this is what it looks like straight off the tree, but if you wash it or rub it with your hands, and it gets lighter.
And you can tell the plums are ripe. They get
if they're
a little darker,
like that,
a little darker color. And they get kind of soft to the touch and then be easy to pull off. I mean, you can obviously, pull them off when they're not quite as dark. So this one's a little firmer, so it's not going to be as sweet, but still super good.
So pretty.
Yeah, you can just tell how much life and energy is in this food. Just so much vibrance. Really cool.
I could just peel off the skin with my teeth.
And so obviously these are really good to eat fresh. We've made jelly with them before. Oh, do you want to grab a jar to show them?
Oh, yeah.
Which I don't know if we're going to make more jelly or jam this year, because we still have some left. But making that is a pretty good use or way to use your extra plum. So this came out, I think this was 8/7/2020, so a couple days over a year ago. This came out a little bit too runny and liquidy.
So we know to mix
more
it a little more.
Pectin or something was a little bit off, but still super delicious, and something, once you can it, this is going to last for years in there, which is cool.
We also, whenever we have extra apples, which we usually go apple picking every year in the fall, I think. So we make apple chips, and these are the best things to snack on, especially if it's cold outside. These are my favorite thing that we make, except for the pickles. Those are amazing.
I'm okay.
They're really good though.
But yeah, I think we'll probably be picking apples earlier this year just because of how hot and dry it's been. Due to climate change, we've been having some really insane heat for our climate zone, 3 days, 100+ degrees. End of June, beginning of July, we never see temperatures in the triple digits. Had 3 days of that. We're also going to see, I think this Friday, it's supposed to be 100 again. But yeah, so it's super dry and hot where we are currently.
That must have sucked. How did she do that?
Well, I don't know how they did they do that?
How did they do that?
I don't know. Maybe it was they dried rotten apples, or maybe they ate a ton. I'm not sure, but yeah, I've always. Maybe I could think of one thing. If you eat a lot of these and you're not drinking any water, I could see that maybe leading to some way too much. Okay, that makes sense because I mean it makes sense. Like you'd want to be if you're eating a lot of apple chips, staying
because these dry,
dehydrated. There's no water in them, as opposed to like this plum, full of water, full of life as it drips all over the plate. Way too much, and it gets bigger in the stomach.
Yep. But they're so good. Okay, I need to stop eating these before I eat the whole jar.
There's worse things to eat too much of, but yeah.
Like these spicy flowers.
Okay. So we tried the plums. We tried the blackberry and boysenberry. What do you want to try next? The nasturtiums. You want to try these?
I've tried them before.
Okay. So these, they look a little rough because we picked them a couple hours ago. They look really cool. They're just growing all throughout the greenhouse.
Which
these are called
nasturtiums.
I
forgot how you eat these.
We planted them one year, several years ago. Haven't planted them since. They just keep coming back each year. Just very, very resilient, and they make these little flowers you can eat. Oh,
this was not really that spicy.
So you just got to be careful. I've noticed sometimes like I'll pick one and try to eat it, but then there's like bugs because these are good to attract, bees and pollinators and stuff. They look really cool, I think. They do keep coming back, yeah. We planted a couple of these one time,
maybe like
probably like 4 or 5 years ago. And they keep coming back, no matter how much, I move things around in the greenhouse or I, cover it up to kill things off. The nasturtiums, without fail, come back every season. I'm okay with that, honestly. They look really cool. You can eat them. They attract bees. What's not to love, I think.
Because we lay down plastic every year to, kill off weeds and grass. Because inside of our greenhouse, there's wood chips and all we need. Yeah, they do. But we kill off them. We think then they come back every year. So we didn't really kill them all. They were just hiding. But
yeah, they don't have a super long season that you're able to go out and pick and eat them. Maybe but that is why it's so
2-3 months.
I think we appreciate, having tomatoes when they're in season for a couple months, having plums when they're in season, or cucumbers. You just appreciate it a lot more when you're able to get such amazing flavor from these things, and just really appreciate food a lot more. I think when you grew it, yourself, there's a lot of great things that come from it.
Yeah. So should I try something that I don't like first, or something that I don't like first?
That's it. Oh,
tomatoes or figs?
Well, which do you like less? The tomatoes or the figs?
I don't know. I haven't had neither in 2 or 3 years.
Somebody not like either one of these.
I have tried dried figs
this could be a little riper. There's this fig tree in the back of the food forest next to our kind of compost pile. So it doesn't get as much of attention just because of where it's located. And there's 3 or 4 figs. These are Desert King figs, just literally drooping off of it. I grabbed them and they almost turned to mush in my hand. The flavor in those was just, oh my God, out of this world. So good. You got to pick. Which one are you doing?
Fly.
Let me see. Oh wait, let me make sure. Hold on, I'm giving you the ripest one. No wait, this one's gonna be the ripest.
Look at the little baby. It's so adorable.
This one's softer, kind of beat up. That's gonna have the best flavor. You trying that first?
Yes. Don't like tomatoes. I hate the texture.
Hopefully
Don't really
she'll
like
grow.
the taste.
Hopefully she'll grow to love them.
I also don't like
Because
bananas,
these
avocados.
taste like little bites of
Heaven.
sunshine or heaven. Yeah, like these are so good.
I don't like avocados, bananas. He thinks I'm crazy.
I mean, bananas, like, okay, I could see maybe, like,
I could maybe see
not
that.
liking bananas a whole lot, just because, well, especially the ones at the store, just the standard, like, Cavendish ones, they don't have a whole lot of flavor, I don't think, unless maybe you put them in a smoothie or you freeze them and make banana ice cream.
Okay, that's really good with chocolate syrup.
But I think avocados taste really good. I mean, just avocado toast and stuff. But...
Well, we can make a video. Maybe. How about if this gets to, let's do 20 views.
Okay.
20 views in 2 weeks. Then I will do a whole, I hope this does not get
where you try
views.
Food you don't like.
Where I try food I don't like and he doesn't like. Which will be chocolate cake. Because he doesn't like chocolate. Which I think he's a crazy person if somebody doesn't like chocolate.
Yeah, I know. Agreed. I didn't really eat avocados. Wasn't really exposed to them much during my childhood. It's not something I really got into till as an adult. But yeah, avocados, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Or one of my favorites is avocado toast. So toast, obviously, avocado, then mustard and nutritional yeast. That's another thing I could live off of. Like those.
That's also what
avocado sandwiches, figs, like green smoothies. Like I'd
I want cherries.
Cherries are good.
Oh, I love cherries.
Yeah, okay. Avocados do. Yeah, there's another one of those things like
where they
kind of hard to shop for at the store. Like I don't buy them if they're soft at the store because more than likely you're going to get them home, open them up, going to be all brown and like nasty.
Which you probably need to use that avocado that's in the fridge tomorrow.
But they do last a while, like several days in the fridge once they get ripe and then refrigerate them. What? Whoa! I have a neighborhood friend with an utterly massive avocado tree, 50 feet, Maisie.
Wow.
Maybe that's amazing. When we were on the Big Island, we saw some pretty big avocado trees. I think there was one next to the Airbnb that we
there was. It was probably about as tall as a roof, where we could look off the balcony and we could see it. But I guess let's just get this done with them.
That's awesome. So do they give you some of those avocados? That would be pretty cool.
That'd be really nice.
That probably makes more than they can help prune. There you go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, avocados at the store can get expensive.
Like, I mean, that doesn't really nice pricey.
Matter to her because she doesn't like them. But yeah, sometimes they can be like $2.50 a piece.
Yeah. Like, so whenever me and my mom go to Fred Meyer or any store and we see them on free, we're like, "Hey Todd, do you want some avocados?" Yeah.
I wish they were free. I mean,
if they were free, then
5-finger discount to get that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's try this, I guess. I'm not excited.
So what kind of tomato is that?
Sun Gold.
There you go.
Haha! Yay. Then this is no, that's a plum. I don't know. I'm not guessing.
Indigo cherry drop tomato.
I know it was like a
indigo
cherry
because
something. It's
purple.
pretty. Okay.
Yeah. Here's the purple.
Moving the plate closer to me. Any dish?
Just eat the whole thing as a tiny tomato.
You bite into it.
She's way more dramatic than she needs to be. It's a delicious tomato. You don't like it?
I hate the taste.
Okay, well, what do you think that tomato tastes like, though?
Trash.
Look at that is the tiny ass bite she took. This is a small tomato, and she took
like trash in my opinion.
Maybe like an 8 out of this.
No, look probably like that's the 2% out of it.
She's tripping. These things
Tastes like trash.
Absolutely
in my opinion.
delectable. And again, if you were to buy a pint of these, at your local supermarket store, it's going to be $4-5, probably five, six
Don't
at
break
least
one again.
at a farmer's market. And you can grow these pretty easily, in my opinion. Tomatoes, grown them a variety of ways, in raised beds, in the ground, in a greenhouse, in pots, grow bags in our backyard. Pretty easy to grow, in my opinion. You just obviously need a good amount of sunlight. You need good soil. They produce a lot of fruit over a long period of time, so you're going to have proper soil, and then some water. And then if it's a indeterminate variety, you want to prune off the suckers that kind of grow up in the crotch of the plant. Otherwise, it'll just keep reproducing itself basically and making more plants, and you want it to grow up if you're growing it a indeterminate variety. She'll explain the pruning. We were trying to explain this to my dad earlier because he has a few in pots, and he's taken a little time to catch on, which is interesting because he is very very mechanically inclined, a lot more than myself, but he's still having a hard time figuring this out. So I guess it just shows that everybody learns things differently, or has that capacity to.
So basically, the blue is the tomato, then the black is the prunes where you should trim off, which is right in the V.
They might not be able to tell the difference in colors.
Okay, well,
so the one going up and down, that's the main leader.
There.
Yep.
That goes up.
That's
then these
the branch, and then the ones
right in the V.
Yep, in the V. Here, point to them with your thing.
So right there.
Those are the ones that you'd want to prune off on an indeterminate tomato plant.
Right there. Which you would have to...
Unless you want it to just become like a crazy mess, like pretty quickly.
Exit off those.
Yep. If they're smaller, you can do it with your hands or some,
if
little
they're
pruners.
big, then
get some pruners, yeah. Tomato plant randomly grew outside my dad's bathroom. My uncle stayed with him and blocked the drain. Yeah, that's another one that can be really resilient. Like if you let some, tomatoes just kind of go to seed, wherever, they're going to more than likely, some of them are going to keep sprouting up year after year, just like the nasturtiums.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite annual fruits to grow for sure.
Do I have to try this and not even ripe?
This one is, I told you, try this one. That's super ripe.
I wish it wasn't ripe.
Take a bite off that side. So this is a Desert King fig. In my opinion, in the climate zone that I'm in, 8B here in the Pacific Northwest, probably the top 2 favorite fruits you could grow here, in my opinion. Along with, I really like Asian pears as well.
Blackberries and
so Desert King fig. This is one of the few varieties that will actually ripen in our climate zone. Figs usually quite a bit of heat and warm temperatures that they can do pretty good in dry conditions as well, I believe. Obviously going to do better with, some water.
I am so tired. It's 10:51. I just came back from Texas.
Have you frozen figs? No, I would love to, but we've never been able to get like a crazy, harvest of them. It's usually
squishy.
A few here and there. So I think I took back 3 of these with me. I ate maybe 4 or 5 at the food forest. The fig trees are just starting to really take off. One of them I'll probably get 20-25 figs from, which is good, but I know ones that are in really good conditions and really happy and have been established, you can literally get hundreds of figs or more, which is just amazing if we could get to that level.
Yeah. But I just came back from Texas, so it feels like it's 1:00 in the morning. So, yay.
I have access to a few fig trees. There's always too many. Wow.
Wow.
That would be a great problem to have, in my opinion, because I bet they would be delicious in smoothies. How are they in smoothies? That sounds really good to me.
Do we only have one
fig tree? No, we have.
Oh, didn't we buy some this year? Or was that?
No, we bought a mulberry, Korean giant Asian pear, Shiro plum, and another Santa Rosa plum. Which,
well, if I put this in my mouth, then I wouldn't be able to eat this. It's a good question.
I've heard of people making 1 to 2K off a harvest of one tree. Yeah, I believe it. There was this guy. What do they call him? Bill, the fig guy, or Fig King, or something. This guy in Seattle. We found him on Craigslist.
We or you?
No, me or your mom. Found him on Craigslist, and he was advertising these figs he was selling on Craigslist, and we went and bought this. Those kind of plastic clamshell size plastic containers that like salad mixes and stuff came in, and we got one of those full of figs that he had just had basically in his fridge, just these huge, massive harvests of figs, and he's making pretty good money. I don't remember exactly how much he charges, but it's probably $20-$25, which is still a good deal. But I mean, it's like, wow, yeah, I could see people making that much, which is just amazing. Talk about a cash crop if you could get that going.
Yeah.
Like deer, like we have problems with deer and elk eating other things in our food forest. This is when they get in. Luckily they aren't right now. This is one of the things they won't, like, don't mess with. Birds. Yeah. I haven't had any issues with birds eating them. I just think they're amazing.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, back to the refrigerator likes to turn on at this time. Back to the 20 views for me trying different food. So oh no, it glitched out. Okay, Uh-oh. There we go. Last time I ate a banana, I puked. So.
Well, maybe don't.
I puked all over my dad's car.
Don't do a banana then. Let's do avocado.
No tomatoes. I already tried that.
How about peanut butter pickle toast with homegrown pickles? That's really good. Avocado toast, just avocados by themselves. There's 3 things I think would be worthy of trying. What else? I don't know. But
my grandpa didn't even know what a bean was.
I don't think everybody does. I hadn't heard of that term or became aware of what it was until
like
maybe 3 years ago or something.
Yeah, whenever we taught it to you.
I don't think I taught it to you guys.
We taught it to you. No. Yes.
Okay, who'd you hear about it from then?
My mom.
No, lies.
Yes.
She heard about it from me.
No, I didn't.
Lies and blasphemy.
I would have been.
Quit stalling. You need to try.
I don't want to. Frick this thing. I'll throw it in the garbage.
That's. No.
How about this one?
No.
Or these?
Definitely don't throw these. We only have a couple of these. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Frick yeah. Homegrown. Oh, you should go grab them a jar and we'll show them our homegrown pickles. Yeah, it is quite a process to actually make your own pickles, but honestly, you just make like a day of it 1 year and you can make enough to last you the whole year, and you have some really just amazing flavor and the texture and like a good jar of organic pickles at the store or farmer's market this size probably going to be like
that's what you should try
or $7. So honestly,
we will
and we made probably
20, 24.
Yeah, pints of these last year, and we've been able to share some with friends and family, and we've had enough for our sandwiches or peanut butter pickle bread.
So one thing I like to eat is macaroni and pickles.
Then you can even drink the pickle juice a little bit.
So I think whenever we make my video of eating it, we will also, in that video, also do it for him. So he will have to eat
this is
macaroni and pickles.
Insane to me because we always used to get really smushy like pickles they didn't have that crunch to it.
Hold
but
on, listen.
You gotta use pickling cucumbers. Check this out. I didn't really hear that, but it is.
Woo. That's a little bit sour kick.
Does have a good flavor and texture to it. I don't think it was that sour. Oh, and then
no. God,
you want to try the pickled
that kind of looks like molded. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, it does.
She's tripping.
No, I'm not.
That's not mold.
That looks like freaking like it died.
No, it doesn't. She's not.
That looks like
garlic.
Look him the bad. No, show them the bad side. That looks like it.
That's just how the garlic was.
No, eat that then. A little weird. You
have to try that.
No. I'd rather.
Okay, try the fig. You have to, so we can.
No, we don't.
I'll look at the video. You want me to try it first?
I won't eat it. I'm not gonna eat it.
You have to try a bite. Yes. No. Yes, that's the whole point of this video.
No, that's in my video that I don't like.
Oh my god. Look at that. Look at that. Looks a little strange, but this
like a brain.
Is some of the highest quality food you could literally put into your body. Just try a little bite of this.
No.
Yeah. That's the best part.
No. I had figs once in my life. There. No.
Just try it.
No.
When did you have figs before?
Whenever you did those bike races over at that place, and we brought dry figs and I ate them. So I'm
Fresh
not eating.
figs are way different than dried figs. Like
no. Frick to the heck to the no.
They're way different.
No. They're just dried.
No, they taste amazing.
They taste probably disgusting.
You don't know that without trying it, though. You can't just be a hater.
Little butt. Yeah.
Well, that means this video gets 20 views, then she will have to come back
in 1 week.
She's going to try one.
1 week.
Then she's going to come back on, and we're going to get an even riper fig, and she's going to have to try it at that
That does not mean you can watch it 20 times.
That's fine. I usually don't watch my own stuff. I don't necessarily find that entertaining or interesting to listen to myself talk, actually. I'd rather listen to other people talk. I hear myself talk all the time.
Yeah, because you talk a lot, mostly about bikes and garden and stuff like that. But if we get 20 views in 1 week, then I will try disgusting stuff. He will try macaroni and pickles.
As long as it's vegan, I'll try it.
Yeah, we'll buy Mom's macaroni. But we will do that. So
she spilled stuff on the mouse pad.
He did. Not moi. He.
More lies and blasphemy.
By the way, this is not the middle finger. Okay, well, we're going to close out this video, and we will make another one for food that we don't like. So, yeah.
All right.
Peace.
Peace
Bye.
Out.